I literally started by accident again to do corporate keynote speaking. And that suddenly blossomed and grew.
Mm.
And I still do some today, not as many as I did in the past. I don't really want to have to travel that much,
Yeah.
but I still today have the opportunity to use the sport to influence corporate America and to transfer the admired skills of the world's great racing teams into their corporate culture. And can you imagine the kick for me after all these years that I still have the power to influence people using motorsports as the platform? I love it. It's amazing.
No, it's amazing. I was involved in F1 in the 90s, and to take people around to see Benetton, the factories, it is something special about it. So I can see if you have the ability to talk about it, it must be real, a corporate level, a huge switch on.
Yeah.
When you look back at the young Derek Daly from Ballantyre, who you probably say was probably shy, didn't know what he was doing, maybe, perhaps, and where you are now, what do you think? How'd you man?
I think.
Who's your man?
What happened to me is I believe it's available for a lot more people, but they don't know it.
Mm.
But I think when you're hardwired to have a stretch goal, like everybody talks about, I have a goal. My goal is this and that and the other. But for me, a goal isn't something you try and force to make happen. A goal is when you become the person that you need to be to fulfill that goal. That's the magic. But then you take a goal and you add a stretch to it. A stretch goal is what might be possible if you reach far. That's what I learned how to do. And that's what I try and bring other people into that type of world, to give them an understanding of what it would take for them to be able to do something like that. Because back in the day, maybe the most influential person in my life was my dad, but I didn't realize it at the time.
Yeah.
Because after a big accident that I had at Mondello one time, when my car rolled upside down, smashed itself to pieces, and my car was in bits, it was upside down. I was crawling out from under it. I was halfway out when suddenly I looked up and there was my dad running across Mondello Park, across the grass, track marshals running after him, trying to stop him. He picks me up and we're walking back to see my mother. And he said to me, even though the car now was destroyed, smashed, he says, I'm glad you had a go.
Yeah.
Now just think about that for a second.
Yeah.
Right? Here was your son, could have been killed, destroyed his car, don't know what it's going to cost. And your dad tells you, I'm glad you had a go.
Yeah.
Because he also was a person that had a go. My dad's main job, as when we were very young kids, was selling bacon, rashers and sausages out of the back of a van. And then he decided, I'm going to buy a shop. Then I'll buy another shop. I didn't realize it at the time, but that was very much entrepreneurial moves back in those days. When your dad risks, the family income to try and start a business himself. And so that I'm sure had an effect on me. But when he said to me, I'm glad you had a go when you destroyed your car, that was the type of impetus that I took on board to have a go at almost anything. And I'm so glad I did.
And the F word never seems to have come in to your thinking process. Failure.
Never.
Yeah.
And I failed many times.
Well, so did Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan says he failed 13 times. I mean, but you haven't, this our chat, the word, that F word has not even crossed your brain. Right.
But most people get paralyzed and will never take a chance in case they might fail. I was the complete opposite. I would jump in immediately and do whatever I could to get wherever I could with it. And if it failed, you move on to the next thing.
Yeah. And is there a piece of music, Derek, that's traveled with you for good times, bad times, or is your go-to piece?